Hey folks, Hammeh here. Hope you're having a great new year and that heading back from the holidays hasn't been too tough. We've had a new Year Overwatch patch just drop with Oasis, the new map, the end of Winter Wonderland and more, but there's also been a nice little extra in there. Some new voice lines for our favourite heroes with their New Year's resolutions. I'll be quickly spinning through what new lines there are, 12 out of all the heroes have them right now that I can find, and also quickly reviewing some other news on a Roadhog Hook nerf or balance that's incoming to the PTR, as well as an interesting lore clarification that's just dropped too. Okay, on with the voice lines. From the top, Widow is fairly dismissive of New Year.
New Year's resolutions? How precious.
Farah though is more enthusiastic, as always.
My New Year's resolution: take some time off.
We've already seen Farah trying to take some more time off in Tracer's Reflections comic, spending a bit of time potentially in Canada with this chap over Christmas, whomever he may be. Family perhaps?
My New Year's resolution? New skates for all the kids in the neighborhood.
Nice of Lucio to be giving back a little there to the community.
My New Year's resolutions: less peanut butter, more bananas.
And as we know, Winston's crippling addiction to peanut butter is potentially a side effect of the gene therapy that he's undergone. Mercy's tried to help him with it, but maybe bananas would just be healthier.
My New Year's resolution? I could do a better job controlling my temper.
I love this one from May. Remember, she was putting some rocks in the odd snowball in her Winter Wonderland Snowball Offensive voice lines. So either that or she's just being a bit silly. I hardly imagine May with a temper unless she's a bit like the Incredible Hulk. Will we not like her when she's angry?
This wasn't a good year for you.
Fair enough, Reyes. 2016 was a bit of an odd year, but let's not dwell on the past.
My New Year's resolution? Peace on Earth.
I can certainly see Zarya wanting some peace on Earth after all of the strife that's encompassed her mother Russia.
My New Year's resolution? 513.
However, if you don't know what the 513 reference refers to, her current lift record, referred to in terms of her sprays and her tattoo and other things as well, is 512. So she wants to go one better and beat her personal record. Now Zarya also has a very long Russian line.
Мой прадед говорил: я имею желание купить дом, но не имею возможности. Я имею возможность купить козу, но не имею желания. Так давайте же выпьем за то, чтобы наши желания совпадали с нашими возможностями.
That actually means I have a desire to buy a house, but I have no opportunity. I have an opportunity to buy a goat, but I have no desire. So let's drink to our desires corresponding with our opportunities. This apparently is from a film called Kidnapping Caucasian or Caucus Style, a 1960s Russian comedy. Russian team, do let me know if that's not the case. Dad 76's is a little bit more grumpy.
I stopped making New Year's resolutions a long time ago.
And I really love Junkrat's line.
My New Year's resolutions? I think I'd like to travel more.
Now in Junkrat's typical style, I think he's being a little bit sarcastic. Remember that Junkrat on his little crime spree with Roadhog has been to England, Japan, Mexico, Paris, and in Reflections, he's apparently spent the holiday with Roadhog in Luna Park, Sydney, or Melbourne, apparently. Thanks to you Aussies in previous videos for pointing that out. Reinhardt and Genji's lines are pretty straightforward. Genji's is Happy New Year in Japanese.
My New Year's resolution? Same as every year. Fight for justice.
明けましておめでとうございます。
And I don't know about you, but I certainly shared Diva's resolution. Man, my gaming pile of shame has grown so much since Overwatch's release. How about yours?
My New Year's resolution? Catch up on all the games I need to play.
Okay, those are the voice lines. If any new ones pop up, I will share them with you, but those are all of the ones in the game and that I can find right now. Secondly, let's have a little bit of a chat about Roadhog Hook changes that have been confirmed to be coming to the PTR sometime soon. So, on the official boards, Jeff Goodman, one of the lead balance designers, gave us some news that the Roadhog Hook that was mentioned at BlizzCon, this change of feeling and mechanics of Roadhog's Hook, is on the way. So here's some of the changes summarised. Hook will now move the target more directly in front of Roadhog rather than a straight line towards him. And there's also a cap being put on how far sideways you can actually be pulled. The example that Goodman gave was that you won't be able to hook someone in theory, then spin 180 degrees as Roadhog, and then dump them off an edge, something that felt a bit unfair considering the direction in which you were being hooked. Hopefully, the changes should mean that Hook feels more consistent as to where the target of Hook is pulled to. Now, this is a big complaint from a lot of Roadhog victims, when you have that through space and time kind of slight TARDIS style Hook feeling, where people were being pulled along walls, through walls, and things like that. So this should feel better if you're the Hook recipient. If there's ever a way of feeling good when you've been hooked, then this should hopefully make it feel a bit more fair. Second change, the line of sight check for whether a hook actually connects in the first place is now apparently going to be checked in the game code from Roadhog's position rather than where the hook is. So the benefit of that is that it shouldn't connect to targets that Roadhog can't actually see. Thirdly, a new line of sight check is being brought in to check back to Roadhog as to whether he's visible once the hook has actually landed. If it fails, then the hook breaks and returns to Roadhog. So this is also important for those who have maybe got hooked and then moved what they thought was a reasonable amount of distance out the way to not be pulled back. If you get hooked in this system and you manage to line of sight Roadhog real fast, for example, say you were mid-sprint as Soldier 76, mid-boost as D.Va, the hook should break early. Now, I think that this is the thing that's going to need most testing and most tweaking perhaps on the public test realm. Gonna have to see how it feels. Now, people who are good at playing Roadhog and knew how all of his hooking mechanics work made him a really strong picker. This will make him weaker, although many will argue that the hook isn't functioning as it feels it should right now anyway, and it feels frustrating to play against for sure if you're not clued in on its tendencies and where you can actually be hooked from and pulled to. Either way, it's going to be on the public test realm. It might even be there before the end of the week, according to Goodman, so really looking forward to that. Great update from the devs, and we've got a lot of cool stuff to start the new year. What do you think of all these changes? Will you Roadhog mains be on the PTR trying this out soon? Can't wait to see how it works. Now, last but by no means least, there's been an interesting clarification on a couple of images often used by us lore fans as context for different Overwatch timelining, dates and topics. So, two often debated images are the medal ceremony that's been seen in one of the Overwatch flavour trailers. You've probably seen it in a whole bunch of my events, and then also the congratulations image, which looks to be Winston's acceptance into Overwatch graduation or similar from the Recall animated short. On the official boards, lead writer Michael Chu, who heads up Overwatch's story, came out with an interesting clarification that some characters' ages were maybe misrepresented a bit in the art of these. In the first image, the medal ceremony, Ana, Reyes and Morrison should apparently be older or look older, and in the second one, the congratulations image from Recall, Reyes, Morrison, Torbjorn and Ana should all be looking older as well. So that's an interesting clarification. What does it mean? I'll go into it more in another video perhaps, but as a very quick summary now, it basically dates whatever events are being shown in these images, mainly Winston's graduation or whatever this ceremony is, as being a little bit later, or let's say closer to the Overwatch present day. If Ana, Morrison, Torbjorn and Reyes are all meant to look older in these images, this could shorten the amount of time, for example, Winston and Tracer were in Overwatch for, given that the new crew, or those guys are also younger. Tracer's 26, Winston's 29 and similar. I appreciate a good story rather than having to have everything in crazy detail, although I love the details too. Personally, I felt the images as they were could just about work, but saying that the original Strike Team characters should be older than they look gives Blizzard more room to put an even more awesome story together. It just makes everything a bit less tight, a little bit less constrained, and I'm totally cool with that. Managing and creating a universe is a pretty tough thing. It's tough enough trying to keep track of one from the outside, let alone write it from the inside or create it and build it. So as much as we love the details, I know I do, we can't get too precious if they change. And that's probably one of my New Year's lore resolutions, shall we say. Going into any more detail than that for now would get into timelining, which I could talk for ages on anyway. Do check out my Lore Bites series and the episode specifically on timelines linked below if you like getting really deep into lore sources and deduction from this sort of thing. There we go, that's a mix of Voicelines, Overwatch news and lore news all in one package. I hope you enjoyed this slight mishmash of a video. What do you think about the new Voicelines? What New Year's resolutions do you think the characters who don't have any lines right now would have? Let me know your thoughts and favourites in the comments, as well as what you think about these potential changes to Roadhog's hook and the lore clarifications we've had too. Until next time, I've been Hammeh, take it easy.